It's strange when you really stop and think about it. The universe has been arranging pieces for years, moving circumstances and people and moments into place, all to bring you to this exact second where you'd hear something you actually needed. And here's the part that'll mess with your head. You think you chose to be here. You think you clicked on this by accident or out of boredom. But this moment has been tracking you down far longer than you've been searching for clarity. Don't rush past this. If you're hearing these words right now, you're already standing in the middle of something significant that you haven't fully recognized yet. Lately, your life has felt different in a way you can't quite articulate to anyone. It's not depression, not confusion in the clinical sense, just this underlying sensation that something beneath the surface is moving. You wake up and the air feels different. Some days heavier, some days strangely lighter, but never quite the same as before. Like the entire atmosphere around your existence shifted while you were sleeping, and now you're trying to navigate a reality that looks identical but feels fundamentally altered. That's not paranoia. That's not your mind creating problems. That's the universe adjusting your perception so you can finally see what's been sitting right in front of you all along. You know that feeling when something is clearly trying to get your attention, but you can't identify what it is. That low-grade awareness that something is calling to you from just outside your field of vision, that feeling is exactly why you ended up here. People walk around expecting signs to arrive like fireworks. They want angel numbers, prophetic dreams, wild coincidences that announce themselves clearly. But the universe rarely operates that way. Most of the time it moves quietly, almost imperceptibly. It appears in conversations that land differently than they should, words that stick to your ribs for days afterward. It shows up as the same thought circling your mind for an entire week, refusing to leave. It arrives as a memory that suddenly stings, even though you were certain you'd processed and released it already. These aren't random occurrences. These aren't your brain misfiring. These are intentional signals, small cosmic breadcrumbs leading you toward a version of yourself that's forming but hasn't fully emerged yet. You've been dismissing them, writing them off as overthinking or stress or exhaustion. But signals never show up without reason. And the more intense they become, the more persistent, the harder the universe is working to pull you towards something you actually asked for a long time ago, even if you don't remember asking. Here's what nobody tells you about breakthroughs. They don't feel exciting when they're happening. They feel like confusion. They feel like questioning everything you thought you understood. They feel like carrying emotions so complex you don't even have language for them yet. You're not falling apart right now. You're being repositioned. Your entire internal structure is being rearranged to support what's coming next. This is the exact moment most people give up, right before the shift completes itself, because they can't tell the difference between collapse and transformation. The two can look remarkably similar from the inside, but the universe knows the difference. And right now, it's working overtime to make sure you don't walk away from the exact thing you're meant to step into. If you're finding value in what you're hearing, I want to ask you something. Please subscribe to this channel. I make this content for people navigating moments exactly like this one, where nothing makes sense but everything is shifting. Subscribing helps me keep creating these messages, and it gives you a place to return to when you need this perspective again. I'd really appreciate your support. Now let's go deeper. So here's the part you were actually meant to hear, the part the universe has been trying to get you to notice for longer than you realize. You're not late. You're not off the path. You're not lost in the way you've been fearing. You're aligning. The discomfort you've been feeling isn't evidence that something's wrong. It's your old identity peeling off like dead skin. The restlessness sitting in your chest, that's your spirit stretching into a future that's finally ready to receive you. Every delay that frustrated you, every heartbreak that didn't make sense, every confusing shift that seemed random at the time, all of it was rearranging the timing so you'd arrive at this exact moment when you're actually ready to receive what's waiting. You weren't supposed to encounter this message before today. You literally weren't ready. Your system couldn't have held what this moment is trying to show you. But something has shifted inside you recently, something subtle but fundamental, and now you can handle this. So start paying closer attention. Look at your emotions differently. Notice your patterns without judging them. Pay attention to your dreams, not just the ones you have while sleeping, but the ones that surface during the day. Watch the people leaving your life and the people appearing. Notice the things that no longer fit, even though they used to fit perfectly just months ago. This is your transition season. This is the space between who you were and who you're becoming. And the universe doesn't send crystal clear answers until you're strong enough to receive them without collapsing back into old patterns. Clarity arrives when you can hold it, when your internal structure is solid enough to build on top of it. Right now, you're being fortified. You're being prepared. And once that preparation completes, everything you've been waiting for will move so fast you'll barely have time to process it. The universe brought you here for a specific reason. And now, finally, you're starting to see it. Before we finish, I want to ask one more thing. If this message landed somewhere deep, please consider subscribing. You being here matters, and I'd be honored to continue this journey with you. Thank you for staying present through this entire message. That alone says something about where you are right now.